people that have been empowered to guide me, lead me, or make policy for you and your firearms right. I have seen over the last 5 years what I believe now to be an agenda-driven agency. We have lost the ability to say, we don't care. Mr. President, we don't care. Congress, we don't care. You make the laws, we'll enforce them. It's that simple. Yep. I started seeing internal policies, regulations driven in one direction that are not appropriate to be driven by our agency. I saw managers removed from positions but protected for extreme malfeasance. They've denied publicly where myself and others have stepped forward and confronted them. We didn't do it anonymously. We didn't do it through anonymous letters or through messages. We've called them out to their face, and I'm still waiting for any one of them to say we are wrong. So what we have now is, at the end of the day, whatever has happened to me, to John Dotson, to Pete Forcelli, or whatever, is so secondary, because you have an agency that has more power than any other agency over your daily comings and goings, over your livelihood, your right to possess, bear, carry, own firearms that is corrupted. And no one has to this day been held accountable. I'm pending termination while Bill Newell, George Gillette, Mark Tate, Billy Hoover, the deputy director, are all sitting in protected positions drawing senior executive pay, not even a timeout pending the outcome of the OIG investigation. Like, hey guys, time out until we find out. If you didn't do anything wrong, it's called due process. They get it too. But we have now yet another acting director who, if he continues to fail to act in the presence of now public lies, misrepresentations, abuses of authority, waste, fraud, and abuse, you may be looking at the end of ATF. And I'll just leave you with this small point. It's better the devil you know, and that would be us. Why? Because we've been with you guys for 40 years. You know our strengths and our weaknesses. You know who we are. You know who that ghost is. You know where to find us. The last thing you want is to have these gun laws and jurisdictions scattered in Homeland Security or the Department of Justice. Good luck with that, because you can't even hold us accountable. What are you going to do with Big Brother? I would highly encourage you to go to cleanupatf.org. Let your views be known. Let the facts be known. 48 congressmen now have come out for Eric Holder's resignation publicly, which I think is absolute. Either he knew and did nothing, or he didn't know and he's incompetent. Those are your options. And I take no pride in publicly vilifying our Attorney General. I promise you. It almost feels un-American, but not as un-American as 2 dead Border Patrol agents and over 150 Mexicans that were referred to by my peers and my seniors in my agency as broken eggs to make an omelet. That will never fly in my world. And the only reason that we've gotten this accountability, you know what, Darrell Issa, love him or hate him, and I don't care. He is why they're being held accountable, and he deserves to be supported on that. If you want this to be handled, if you want accountability, if you want this never to happen again, because remember, it could have been any one of you. It could have been me. And I am daily reminded when I wake up, because of this nightmare I've been forced to live, that, you know, I'm gonna hear that call one day that not a Border Patrol agent, not a DEA agent, but an ATF agent was killed with a gun we knowingly allowed to walk across the border into the hands of known cartel members. So I would ask that you continue doing what you're doing. If you have free time, if you have a choice of watching a football game or sending your congressman a letter demanding an end to it, confronting some of the foolish and reckless abuses heaped on firearms owners of America, the industry, now might be a good time to do it, because it's not going to get any better. It's been exposed now, so the ball's in your court. I've done what I can do. Darrell Issa, Charles Grassley have done what they can do. It's my understanding that there's a high probability they will appoint a special prosecutor after the first of the year.
Nice.
Now, I think everyone can collectively agree that internally we have lost the ability to police ourselves, and therefore the Office of Inspector General is not going to do an impartial investigation directed at their boss. And I think it's time for it to step outside. This is not about payback. This is not even about accountability. That's not my job. That's the Congress of the United States. It is about stopping it now, ending it now, and getting back to what we do as Americans, and that is live freely within the parameters set by the Constitution. I'm going to stick around. I'm going to answer any. We'll open it up for questions right now, because my answers get a little like scrambled after a couple of Jack Daniels. So we'll get the real serious ones out of the way right now. I know I blew over this, but there's so many angles to this. Yeah, go ahead.
I've got two questions. One, how did Cheryl Atkinson get the...
I didn't call her Cheryl Atkinson.
CBS News. How and why was the exposure of Fast and Furious done by them? And the other part is...
I didn't say I called Cheryl Atkinson.
No, I didn't. How that came about.
I didn't say I called Cheryl Atkinson. Second question.
Spoken like a politician.
Why has the federal prosecutor sealed the court records in the investigation
Into Brian Terry's murder?
Brian, you're right.
That is an anomaly that I have spoken with the attorneys for Brian Terry's family. I was really honored and privileged to be with the Terry family this last week during the memorial. What a great family. What a great kid. Just one of those devoted to God, country, apple pie, good at his job. It was tragic that we have to own some of that. There's not a lot of explanation. I have yet to have an attorney, and we have several in the room, sorry about that. It's not my choice. That has been able to explain, because in my almost 30 years of experience, I've never seen an entire court file sealed. I've seen sensitive portions. I've seen Privacy Act protected portions. I've seen law enforcement or classified information protected, but to have an entire file sealed, I promise you this, it won't remain sealed. But there's only one explanation in my mind why that was sealed. What's so secret? It's a murder of a Border Patrol agent. We have murders of cops every day in this country. Why aren't we sealing those?
Because the election, and there was no reason given, like national security, or it was just sealed.
There is no justification for sealing an entire record.
The election's coming.
Exactly right.
Thank you.